Okay, good morning. We are starting a topic post translation modification. In our previous lecture, we discussed regarding to the various aspects of the translation. In that, we have observed that how the ribosomes are contribute and how overall role of three RNAs are there because ribosomes important component is the RNA. Even the peptide bond formation that is done achieved by means of a ribozyme peptide transferase. Along with that, mRNAs are important, tRNAs are important. Means overall, these all types, three important types of RNAs contribute, and then they leads to form a peptide. Peptide means a long polymer of a amino acid, and depending on the mRNA, depending on the codons, the respective amino acid is there, and as decided by the gene itself, that what should be the length of that particular amino acid. Then what happens once the protein is synthesized? That we are going to discuss one by one. So when the peptide is get formed, actually it is a linear molecule because it is just connected to the one amino acid is connected to another. In that way, hundreds to thousands of amino acids are connected by means of a peptide bond. Okay, we are not going to much detail regarding the protein structure because in metabolism paper we are going to discuss all these things. Okay. But this peptide is concerned in a natural state, it is never a linear molecule. It is a globular molecule, it is aggregate. Actually, a single polymer is there, and actually main backbone is by means of covalent bond, which are connecting to the all amino acids. But what happens in order to play a functional role, even a physiological role also, a particular structure formation is important. And that structure formation in case of molecular biology with respect to protein, it is referred as the conformation. You might aware regarding to the term configuration we commonly use in chemistry in order to analyze the arrangement of the electron in various shells. So that is a configuration, that is a different. And this is the conformation. Conformation means the active structure of a protein. What it means that the suppose if this particular peptide is available in a linear fashion, then it can't perform the function. For example, amylase is there, and amylase just thread like structure is present. That amylase will never do the function of catalyzing the starch. Why? Because there should be the formation of active site. Okay, functional component should be produced, and that is done by overall aggregate formation, overall active conformation formation. Then first thing is that in what a way the folding should be there, so that is actually the amino acids composition decides. So there are not much more role in first case. In majority of proteins, there is no involvement of any other entity. That what should be the modification of that as far as protein structure is concerned, that is not decided by the any external factor or protein or any component. The amino acid sequence that is actually deciding what is happening, that the several amino acids have repelling to each other, several are the attracting to each other. Even attraction and repulsion is not in a same strength. Okay, so that is totally depend on the which type of functional group is present on the amino acid. So depending on that, there this repulsion and actually all are get connected by means of covalent bond. They are, suppose if this amino acid and this amino acid is repelling to each other, they are not responsible to distract that structure. Only thing is that actually they are connected to each other. Their main sequence is never change. Okay, I'll always give the such examples. For example, you might remember the occasion whenever you are in a row. For example, for the particular reason or in the school also we generally stand in the row. What happens? Suppose if your friend is at a 3 number position and you are at a 23 number position. And suppose if teacher is not available there, he say that I am just coming, and he has given the rule that don't break the row should be maintained. So what happens, the 3 number student and the 23 number students, as they are a friend, they try to discuss with each other. Okay, and hence what happens, and the rule is that the row is not going to change, should not broken. And hence they are this 23 number student is approaching to this 3 number, and so automatically the row, the previously which is the straight, now it becomes u like straight. And when the prior to teacher come, the 3 number student and the 23 number students are discussing, or they are achieving such a distance that they can easily talk. And due to this, what happens? Due to their friendship, what happens? The rose shape is get modified. There are so many friendships, so many co-relations are there as far as these things are concerned, that are also more elaborated as a part of biochemistry. So that is reproduction. Actually, one thing keep in mind that folding is the intrinsic one, that is a totally decided. Many times folding also controlled by the external entity that I will explain after. The first thing is that protein undergoes the folding, and this is the obvious feature. Proteins are never linear as far as the cytochemical things are concerned. Second thing is that the proteolytic cleavage. Many peptides, many proteins are synthesized as an inactive precursor. Okay, and they should be cut because unnecessary part should be removed, and then whatever part which is fragmented now, that forms the this active conformation, and then take part into the metabolic reaction. Another is the intense splicing. Intense splicing is just like a RNA splicing, that also I explained one by one. And another modification is the chemical or the covalent modification. Although the main basic structure is there, but beside that the several components are get attached, which are the non-amino acids or the non-proteinaceous part. Actually, they are not expected in these things, but these are attached. Once again, the reason is that they should be got a active conformation. So one by one, we are going to discuss this. What is the fate of the peptide? The folding. I already given that this particular sequence, this is referred as the primary structure. You are familiar with this particular word, primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure, and quaternary structure. And in the primary structure, what happens? These amino acid is connected to each other, and the bond which is formed, it is referred as the peptide bond. Now this is the just a sequence. It is just order of the amino acid. This is referred as the primary. But what happens whenever these two, whenever the various amino acids are get connected by means of peptide bond, there might be interaction between the immediately available amino acids. For example, this number 1 number and 4 number, there is interaction, 3 number, 2 number have interaction. So due to this particular pattern, whatever structure is formed, that is referred as the secondary structure. Okay, interaction due to the amino acid which are closely associated with it. And as 3 number, 4 number, 1 number, these are closely associated, they form the typical spiral-like structure of beta preparation that might go. Then interactions are not only within a closely related amino acid, interactions are also possible within a amino acid which are apart from each other. Means a 4 number amino acid can interact with a 301 number. So for example, 1000 amino acids are this particular 4 number can react with or attract or repelled by means of and due to which more complicated structures get formed. So this is referred as tertiary structure. Tertiary structure means the structure which is formed due to the interaction between a amino acid which are much more apart from each other. Apart means as far as their distance is concerned. Secondary structure is due to the close interaction between a closely related amino acids, and the tertiary structure is due to the interaction between two more amino acids which are apart from each other. Much more distance, much more amino acids are in between them. While quaternary structure is not essentially present in case of all proteins, many times one peptide and another peptide, when both are get combined, means two different peptides are combining and then forms a structure, then and then it has a quaternary structure. It is not rule that every protein should be the quaternary structure. Those which are the many times I use, or in biochemistry also you might hear the term monomer, dimer. The dimer means what happens? Two peptides are coming. Okay, and henceforth this is the totally different sequence, this is totally different, but actually for the actual role playing, this aggregation is important, and when such kind of interaction is there, means amino acid of this peptide and amino acid of this peptide, and then globular structure is get formed, then this is referred as a quaternary structure. There, this particular structural levels of the proteins are explained with respect to hemoglobin. The hemoglobin initially synthesized as a linear molecule due to the amino acids which are closely associated. They form the typical conformation. Then, due to the interaction between the apart amino acids, the typical globular structure, and so many peptides. So the four peptides are there. Then that combines. Along with that, they also requires the heme group, and such a molecule is referred as the hemoglobin molecule, which consists of the beta globin and alpha globin, and hence then such a molecule can capable to exchange oxygen. Otherwise, these particular proteins are not. Hence, this is referred as the active conformation. There, none entities entered head. Only the these sequences decided what should be the structure. Okay. Here, there are several bonds which are taking place. Just there are five types of bonds are available, responsible to contribute to the structural development. Here, you can find that there is a hydrophobic interaction. Okay, then there is ionic bond, means it's amino acid here and there, amino acid here, they form the ionic bond. Several are forming a hydrogen bonds, while even in several cases a covalent. Actually, these all are a weak interaction. Ionic bond is not a bond in two sense, or hydrophobic interactions, or the van der Waals or hydrogen bond. These are just attraction. But the disulfide bridge, whenever the sulfur containing amino acids are there, so that disulfide bridge is a covalently linked. Okay, except the disulfide bridge, all are the weak interaction, and due to these all weak interaction, a typical structure is given. As the sequence is always the same, henceforth structural orientation is the same. For example, if I'm coming to the same example, that the in the same row, if you are every day you are standing at the third position and your friend has the 23 position, every time the same shape will be there. If you are suppose on any day, if your position is changed as a 10 and your friend's position is changed as a 5, then the structure matters. That never happens as per us. Henceforth, always active conformation, whatever generated, it is always the same. Why? Because the basic this particular sequence is the same, and that is a total in control of RNA, and RNA is a total control of the DNA. So that is the important thing, and much more things you are going to clear also as far as a biochemistry is concerned. Then the another is the proteolytic degradation. What happens many times, the proteins whatever synthesized are not actually required as it is, or immediately they are not required. Okay, and hence in order to stop that, and normally happens. I think this is very good example of a curious question during our SYBC. We asked the question, this particular question, that suppose if our digestive system synthesize the proteases enzyme, and these proteases are synthesized, then as if they are responsible to degrade the meat, beef, whatever consumed by that person. If that is degraded by the protease, then why this particular same enzymes are not targeting to our own digestive system? Because it is also same thing. Okay, whether it is a mutton of goat or whether it is our body's digestive system, both the things are same. Then why the proteins are systematically digest to this? Here these digestive enzymes are very systematically controlled. They are always produced as a precursor. Okay, precursors are not active form. Some additional part is there. You know what happens when these precursors are synthesized? Then they are actually the bigger, and due to the another enzyme which actually controls the function of these things, they are responsible to cut, make a cut, fragmentize this particular fragment, and this particular process is also referred as the trimming. Trimming means the unnecessary part which is synthesized and prepared, that is a cut, and then remaining form, whatever remain, that forms the active conformation. There are a very lot of example you will find in biochemistry book, where one of the good example is insulin is not directly synthesized or secreted as an insulin molecule. First, a pro-insulin is produced, and then it is the systematically trimmed by the another enzymes, and then a insulin molecule is secreted. That is a good example of the proteolytic. And another are the example like the zymogens. The zymogens are the inactive digestive enzyme. I have just given the example of the same molecule, that is the trypsinogen is synthesized, but trypsinogens can't directly attack on the proteins. They are the proteolytic enzymes. But whenever the another enzyme is there and that are proteolytically degrading, fragmentizing, an active component of the trypsinogen becomes a trypsin after a trimming process, and that trypsin have ability to digest or degrade the proteins which are consumed by the that particular process. That's all regarding the proteolytic degradation. Means after polypeptide synthesis, the several proteins are fragmented also. Another is the intense splicing. This is just like a same like a RNA splicing, where in a previous lecture we discussed regarding to the RNA splicing. Here the RNA themselves are spliced, and so that is also a good example of the ribozymes. Here the intense splicing is also mediated by the protein themselves. What happens? The intense are the intervening sequence in the certain proteins. These are like introns. These are not necessary. This should be not a structural component. But what happens? Actually, while synthesizing, mRNA encode that information, but that particular part is there. But what is expected? It should be removed out. Now, what is the difference between the former example of the protein proteolytic degradation? When the proteolytic degradation takes place, two fragments are separated. Here, what happens? Within one molecule, several fragments are removed, and remaining fragments are once again connected. Okay. In former case, what happens? The two fragments are cut, then one fragment which is unnecessary that is remain, and within a one fragment the structural orientation is there, and that oriented part is taking part in the metabolism. But here what happens in this case? So for example, longer molecule is there, within that several amino acid sequence is removed. Okay, and hence due to this what happens, several fragments are generated, and these fragments once again get connected. This is just exactly like a RNA splice. So that are first discovered, and you should know the example of intense splicing, and this is the East vacuolar ATPase. Okay, so there are several types of intent: the maxi intent, mini intent, trans-splicing intent, and alanine intent. The maxi intents they consist of the C N terminal, and along with that the endonuclease domain. Okay, this domain, endonuclease, then C terminal, N terminal. These terminologies might be clear to you, or if it is not, then I suggest you to please revise that particular part, or you might get more familiar as far as the biochemistry lectures are concerned. In the biochemistry or in enzymology, you are going to clear this concept. There, the endonuclease domain is not there. Here, endonuclease domain is there. Hence, it is a maxillary. And while both several possesses both the features, okay, and hence both they are referred as the trans-splicing intent. Okay, and there is another type is the alanine intent, which are the splicing junction of the alanine instead of the cysteine and the serine. Generally, cysteine and serines are targeted by this particular for the cutting purpose. But here, when it associated with alanine, this is referred as the alanine intent, and henceforth these are the several types. Just keep in mind that these are the types of intent molecules. An example is the yeast vacuolar ATPase. Yeast vacuolar ATPase is not synthesized as an intact protein. Particularly, the polypeptide is generated. Within that, the intins are get removed. Okay, and that removed intins and later on get connected, and then they are forming active state. Then another is the covalent modification. In the covalent modification, what happens? After a protein is synthesized, they undergoes the covalent modification, and these modifications are in a amino acid. These amino acids functional group are get altered. Okay, and these are also for the control purpose. Okay, just like a switch on off mechanism. So these proteins are converted into either active form or inactive form. Means due to the incorporation of several chemical entity, protein either becomes protein's activities get enhanced or get stopped or get reduced rate. So that is the possible. First example is of the phosphorylation. You might also aware that the several proteins are not we referred as the glycoprotein, lipoprotein, phosphoprotein. So these particular the naming is there. Why? Because a carbohydrate moiety is added, a lipid moiety is get added. These are now the structural component, and that is not coded by the mRNA. mRNA is not giving any information that the attach this lipid molecule, attach this polysaccharide molecule. It is the later on it is decided by the cell systems, and henceforth thus this structure is get modified. For example, in case of phosphorylation, what happens? The hydroxyl group containing amino acids. Okay, there are various hydroxyl group containing amino acids like serine, threonine, and tyrosine. These are subjected by the phosphorylation. So this OH group is replaced by the phosphorylation. The phosphorylation contribute to both the things. In several proteins, it increases the activity, or in several proteins, it decreases the activity. Okay, for example, a group of enzymes which are referred as the protein kinases that catalyze the phosphorylation, while the phosphatases are responsible for the dephosphorylation. It is possible removal of the phosphate. So these are the enzymatic processes. You'll find the so many examples of such processes, and one of the good example is the glycogen synthetase. Here, this enzyme is undergoes a phosphorylation and dephosphorylation, and due to this, what happens? Its activity gets changed. It gets stopped. It gets active. Another is the hydroxylation during the formation of collagen. This example, with example I am explaining here. The amino acid proline, lysine are respectively converted into the hydroxyproline. Okay, the proline is not remain as it is. It is become the hydroxyproline and hydroxylysine. So these, due to this, what happens? So this becomes a totally modified structure. Even the amino acid structure is not only the functional group is added, but the amino acid structure is get instead of the proline, the hydroxyproline is present, hydroxyserine is present, and so these are making a more tougher as far as the proteins are concerned. And that what happens in case of collagen. Another example is the in case of endoplasmic reticulum, this hydroxylation is mediated by the vitamin C, and hence many times in metabolic reactions, vitamin C. Glycosylation, the attachment of carbohydrate moieties. For example, you might know so many proteins. Any example of a glycoprotein, Yes, whether you are hearing, Yes, any example? Okay, as I am recording this lecture, I am going to continue. I am not aware regarding to what kind of difficulty we have. What happens here? The carbohydrates are the get attached, okay, and hence the carbohydrate moieties get attached to the amino acid, either it's serine or at a threonine or asparagine. These are referred as the O-linked. At particular atom, it is going to be hence these are referred as the respective. Okay, and it also requires the vitamin K. Means many times carboxylation is mediated by the vitamin K. Hence, it has a vitamin K dependent carboxylation. That happens in case of glutamic acidity in certain clotting factor, and it is a good example of a post-translational modification. There are so many glycoproteins are also as a homework. You have to collect the names of several glycoproteins or the lipoproteins. Hello, whether you are getting my voice, Durvesh?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay. Okay, now what happens? In first case, I have given that the folding is the due to the intrinsic nature of the polymer. Means several amino acids are sequentially arranged, and due to their arrangement, the folding is takes place. Although it is a truth, but in a rare condition, what happens? The three-dimensional conformation of protein is due to the external entities. Okay. Henceforth, in order to form a 3D structure, tertiary structure, there should be the involvement of other protein cells. No doubt that the sequence of amino acids is taking care that what should be the active conformation is there. But what happens along with that, there should be the also the requirement mediation by protein mediated folding is also possible. That is the how it is happens. That is the referred as the chaperones and the protein proteins. These proteins which are involved in such kind of inducing the structural conformation, modifying the structural conformation, these are referred as the chaperone. Chaperone, actually in Marathi we have the very nice word for that, the patrakhin. Okay, what happened after the marriage, the some experienced lady go with accompanying with the right? And hence that is the support. This is the protein folding is controlled with another protein. That is, these specialized proteins are referred as the chaperones. Okay. Majority of times what happens, it actually forms because due to the evolutionary structure, appropriate amino acids are get a particular location, henceforth active structure is get formed. Okay, means it is a spontaneous process. Once the polypeptide is synthesized spontaneously, it achieves the third dimension, means due to the amino acids interaction, secondary tertiary structure and active conformation is get, it is happening in case of major, but in several cases it requires the assistance. Actually major part is done by their own sequence, the own amino acid sequence decides, order decides, but some unnecessary bonding or bonding should be promoted by the chaperone. These chaperones are referred as the heat shock protein. Actually why these are referred as the heat shock proteins, because during the discovery they have given the different response to the heat shock. Whenever the in laboratory experiment they have given the response to the different temperature, hence their name is referred as the heat shock protein. Normally or generally it is abbreviated as HSP. So actually this name heat shock protein is associated with its discovery, how it is discovered, and based on this experimental finding this HS is okay. Actually, such a role is not there. Actually, their role is in protein folding. Only thing is that they are giving the different response at the different. What they are doing, they are facilitating and favoring the interaction on the polypeptide surface, and finally give the specific conformation of protein. I have explained to you that the several amino acids due to the ionic bond formation, due to the hydrogen bond formation, due to the van der Waals bond formation, a typical structure is get formed. But what happens to exact structure formation, many times the chaperones are interfere, and they are interfering not to forming the bonding or either inducing wherever that. For example, I am taking the same example of the 3 number students and the 23 number students. For example, 3 number students and 23 number students are not a friend. Somebody from externally says, for example, even teacher say that the 3 number and 23 number discuss with each other, but don't break this. Automatically they are going to break. Although there is no attraction, but due to the external entity, the structure is get formed. So such thing is also possible. The chaperones are reversibly bind. Reversibly means they can bound and they can remove out. They not remain a integral part of it. Bind to the hydrophobic phobic regions of unfolded proteins and then folded intermediate. Means the unfolded regions, the chaperones are bind, and once that active conformation is get formed, they are getting removed out because they are just mediating the bond formation or the stabilization of the protein. And in that way, once that intermediate are stabilized, and then incorrect intermediates are not formed, and then their role is complete and they are get removed out, and then active formations remain. There are two types of major types of chaperone. Actually, the lot of details associated with it, but we are observing all this point with respect to the genetic syllabus, since we are not going to much more details as far as the structure, as well as the function and significance are concerned. But as it is mentioned in your syllabus, we should going to collect the information. So there are two types. One is the HSP70. I already given that the heat shock proteins abbreviation is there. 70 system is there, that 70 is also associated with the molecular weight. This mainly consists of HSP 70, 70K kilodalton, hence the HSP 70, and HSP 40. So these are referred as the HSP 40. So these proteins can bind individually to the substrate and then correct the form, promote the appropriate protein folding. Individually, HSP systems consist of the two chaperones, and these chaperones individually goes, means either HSP goes, either HSP 70 goes, and they individually are responsible to mediate the actual structural conformation formation. But in another system, what happens? Chaperone system, rather than playing a one role, a single chaperone is not necessary. For that purpose, so many, more than one. Actually, the overall system is required. Such system is referred as the chaperone system. This is the large oligomeric assembly. Assembly means so many components are there, and then they are helping to proteins to get a proper orientation. The chaperoning system consists of the HSP60, HSP10. These two proteins are coming to and that form the assembly, and such a chaperone means in common case what happens, individual molecule goes and then mediate the structural conform attaining the structural conformation. In second case what happens, a complex aggregate assembly of two are entering, and then in initial case they are going, and then later on case also another system is working, then in cascade system also they are working, and in that way rather than a single particular chaperone, so many chaperones are required, hence it is the chaperone systems. Okay, suppose if these HSPs are not present and if the proteins are not folded, that is a problem for the cell, and hence there are several diseases are also discovered which are associated with the protein misfolding. Means what happens? The proper protein is synthesized. There is no mutation in mRNA. Proteins are synthesized, but what happens? Their folding is not a proper one. Why? Because the chaperones are not might be available, and hence due to this, what happens? The particular structure is not get formed, and that one of the good example is the cystic fibrosis. In cystic fibrosis what happens, the proteins sequence is a proper one. In case of sickle cell anemia, where what we are defined, that the due to the change in the replacement of amino acid, the structure is going to be changed. Means this particular disorder is due to the mutation, but here active polypeptide is synthesized, but folding is not proper. Why folding is not proper? Because that person's body not synthesizing or not appropriately producing the chaperone molecules, and in absence of such chaperone molecule, cystic fibrosis is there. I also request as a home assignment that collect the information about the cystic fibrosis. Then along with this, we are going to also complete the one very small part which is not associated with this post translation modification. But whether the protein synthesis can be inhibited, yes, many inhibitors are available, and generally these are the available as a drug. Okay, so these are the commonly used for the stopping the growth of a microorganism. So, for example, particular microorganism is active only when the from the DNA RNA synthesis from the RNA proteins are synthesized. But suppose the proteins are not synthesized by that particular bacterial cell, the bacterial cell will not survive. Why? Because the majority of part is nothing but the functional proteins, hence protein synthesis is necessary. In case of streptomycin has the ability to stop the initiation process. Okay, that affinity for the 30 years, and so the once if the streptomycin is available in the medium, that are going to stop the things. Streptomycin is not responsible to stop the our protein synthesis. What might be the reason? Streptomycin is responsible to stop the protein synthesis in bacteria. Why? Because it stops the initiation process of the protein synthesis of the prokaryotic system, bacterial system. What might why streptomycin is not harmful to us just like bacteria? Any reason you have? Yes, whenever you are, I am not expecting the correct answer. But you should also ask to yourself that suppose we are consuming the streptomycin, streptomycin is inhibiting the protein synthesis, and how it is systematically stop the protein synthesis of the bacteria and not of the human cells or not of the mammalian cells. Yes, any case is there? Nobody is listening. What is happening today? They are just passively attending this lecture. Okay, if you don't have the proper communication system, you can chat also. Several systems, several inhibitors are stopping the protein synthesis in the prokaryote like a streptomycin, tetracycline. Several have ability to stop the eukaryotic system, like a diphtheria toxin has the ability to stop the elongation process of a eukaryotic system. Tetracycline has ability to bind to the amino acid tRNA. 30S is targeted by streptomycin and 50S is targeted by the Tetracycline also blocks the eukaryotic protein synthesis, but eukaryotic cell is not permeating the things. And so that is the one of the good example that why tetracycline is not. It also have equal ability to stop the eukaryotic protein synthesis. The response is different also due to the ribosome. So these are the several example puromycin that have ability to bound to the tRNA. Puromycin enters at the A site. Yes, yes, I got your answer. Krishna given this is due to the difference in the structure of ribosome. 70S ribosomes are the present in case of a prokaryotic system and 80S ribosome. Even subunits are also different. This your guessing is very much correct that due to the difference in the ribosome, this structure is different. Okay. Chloramphenicol, it is a competitive inhibitor of the peptidyl transferase. Okay. It interfere with the peptidyl transferase and then that stop the protein synthesis. Erythromycin, it inhibit the translocation. Translocation means typical movement of the ribosome is not taking place, and hence due to the erythromycin that stop the thing. Diphtheria toxin is harmful to us. Actually, these all are harmful to the bacteria, but diphtheria toxin is harmful to us. It is not also, keep in mind that the tetraacetoamycin or these chloramphenicol, these are synthesized by the actinomycetes. Actinomycetes are once again the prokaryote. Then question arises why they are not responsible to stop the growth of that particular prokaryote actinomycetes. That is also interesting part. I leave to you. Refer to several books and try to collect the information that why the streptomycin is not harmful to the Streptomyces species, which is the prokaryote. Here, this is the just example. These are the antibiotic which are the block plus translation. These are the source, and these are the target. Okay. These are the target, and in that way, these all are very effectively used as a drug for the stopping the growth of microbes. So that's all for today. In coming lecture, we are going to discuss the topic. Next topic. Actually, we are going to compare with the prokaryotic and eukaryotic system as far as the translation and transcription is concerned. That's all for the today. Also, time is not permitting. Hence, bye bye.